To master this course, the path should be obvious. Complete each week on time, understand the material, master the techniques, and before long, you reach the end of the program, step by step. Kind of sounds easy, doesn't it? There is one thing that you need to accomplish for all of this to take place. Stay motivated. We all have up days, down days, busy days, and fun days. Sometimes it's just difficult to get in gear. The trick to staying motivated is to have friends that give you a kick in the rear when necessary. That's why I recommend hooking up with a group and having a weekly jam session. These people will keep you motivated. Motivation often happens because we interact with others. For example, cranking out these weekly lessons keeps me motivated. I don't want to let you down. I know you're counting on me, so that keeps me going at times when I would prefer to do something else. A great way to have a daily dose of motivation is to become an active member of our forum and also encourage others to do the same. Even if your friends aren't Metal Method students, I don't care. As long as they play guitar, we want them. We need active forum members. You motivate others, and when you read their experiences, they motivate you. There is a special forum I created for this course. It's currently called the Complete Basic Course. If you have a question or suggestion, I would like to hear your thoughts. You may also have an idea for making the course better. Maybe you're a graphic artist and you would like to share a diagram or animation with us. I would like to share your work in the course additional materials. Become part of the process for making this course the best rock guitar program ever. Part of making this happen is to become an active member of our forum. I hesitate to say this because things happen over time. So as you study this material, the following may not still be true. Right now, I'm setting a reminder on my phone to check into the forum each afternoon. You might consider doing the same. The first exercise is the third diatonic pattern. It includes the same notes in the same order as A natural minor, C major, and the other modes that we'll be covering. In this position, begin with the D root note, and it's D Dorian minor in this position. Here's exercise 1. I'm numbering these patterns or positions as 1 through 5 and labeling them as such for consistency throughout these lessons. It's an attempt to make my explanations clear. As we change modes, C major for example, what I'm calling pattern 2 actually becomes pattern 1, and the other patterns change labels accordingly. The Dorian pattern I'm teaching this week as pattern 3 is pattern 3 when playing A natural minor. However, it's pattern 1 when playing A Dorian minor. So please keep this in mind. Exercise 2 is this third pattern ascending and the third pentatonic pattern descending. So what chords can we use in a basic Dorian chord progression? If you've been paying attention for the last couple of weeks, you've probably already guessed the answer. I hope so. These chords are the exact same chords used in the previous 2 lessons. This time though, we begin on the D minor chord. Here's exercise 3. Last week, to make the appearance of the chord progression obvious, I started the C major chord progression and continued up the neck. For exercise 3, I'm using a combination of 5 and 6 string bar chords. The exception is the diminished chord. I can't play the 6 string chord because it appears to be impossible to play, so I abbreviate it as this 4 string chord. The note on the 2nd string of the diminished chord is behind the bar, making it inaccessible. But that's okay. I can't remember the last time I actually played a diminished chord in a song. The only time I can remember playing a diminished chord actually is in these demonstrations. It is part of the music theory here. Also, the 2 different diminished chords that I've demonstrated are difficult to play. So if you've been struggling with them, sorry. I should have mentioned it earlier. You probably thought it was your fault. No, they are hard to play. So where do these chord progressions that we're working with come from? Well, I'm going to explain that right now. So here are all the notes of C major and the 6 other modes. When you begin the progression on A minor, it will sound correct to play the notes of A natural minor, the most popular scale used for hard rock, metal, and a lot of other popular music. So here's how we build the chord scale. Start with the A minor chord. Move to the next higher note of the scale on each string, and that creates the B diminished chord. As you look at this, try to play it. You'll see what I mean. Move up 1 note on each string, and you'll see the C major chord. Continue this process of moving up the scale 1 note at a time on each string, and you'll create D minor, E minor, F major, G, back to A minor. So for the D Dorian minor chord progression, begin on the D minor chord and follow the same process. D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, C, and back to D minor. DJ Nelson created many of the backing tracks for the complete basic course, including all the tracks that sound really good. We sell one of DJ's programs called Monster Backing Tracks. You're ready for this. It features 6 backing tracks for you to jam along with. The tracks include guitar profiles so you can see and play along with the track. If you need some lead ideas, the Guitar Pro tab includes a muted lead part. Just unmute the track and pick and choose from the lead choices. You can even edit the tab to make these choices your own. You'll find that your practice sessions will last an hour but seem like 5 minutes because you'll be totally absorbed in this process. You'll be focused on these songs. The suggested mode for each song is included. Here's a track that DJ wrote for this lesson. The MP3 file is included in the additional materials. Upload it to your phone, set it to loop, and jam away. You'll see exactly what I mean. Exercise 4 is the backing track for you to jam along with. Check out the diagram in the PDF folder labeled 5 Positions of D Dorian Minor. Keep an eye on this chart as you're jamming over the chord progression. The red dots are the root notes that the Dorian mode is centered around. Notice that the 3rd fretboard is now labeled as the first pattern. That's because it is the first pattern of Dorian minor, as I explained earlier. So what if you want to play in A Dorian minor? Take the pattern labeled first position, which we learned in exercise 1, and move it back 5 frets. Put A in the root position, play the same pattern, and it's A Dorian minor. Move the other 4 patterns back 5 frets. As everything moves, some patterns will fall off the fretboard while others appear higher up the neck. But always remember, these patterns still lock together end to end as displayed in the PDF diagram. Everything moves up and down the neck just like bar chords and all other scales. Here's a cool A Dorian minor lick. To close this lesson, I want to explain a couple things. When I say that A natural minor chord progressions begin with A minor, or C major chord progressions begin with C major, this week I'm explaining D Dorian minor. I am simplifying the concept. When playing D minor, for example, D minor is home. I will emphasize the chord and D root note of the mode, but there are numerous examples of the chord progression not actually beginning on the root, the first chord of the progression, in this case D minor. A big shout out to Sarah Spizak for helping me clarify this. Sarah, DJ, and Dan Mum are expert at this theory stuff. Please check out their lessons to get an in-depth look at music theory. I'm primarily a play-by-ear guy. I play and teach by visualizing shapes and patterns. See you next week.